Hello, do you like watching Naruto? And would you like to know who you would be if you got into anime? Then right now subscribe to the channel, like this video, and the last number of your like will indicate who you would be if you got into anime. For example, I would become Itachi, and you? Write in comments.
Part 1. Naruto opened his bright blue eyes. He glanced at the alarm clock, while his fan just spun. He didn't say out loud to anyone in particular, "I guess today is the day. I guess I have a mission that I must fulfill." He got up and took a shower for 30 minutes. Naruto left and walked over to his closet. He saw his dark red, almost crimson jacket. He touched the thread and felt fine silk and strength. He prayed and put on his jacket. It's time for Naruto to take the test. Training ground number 7. Naruto noticed that he was there first. The sun has not yet risen. He sat down on the tallest tree and began to read his book. This book was unusual. This book explains the combination of seals and elements and how they work. It was a difficult topic with which you flew by. It was difficult to understand. Naruto figured out how gestures work. Rabbit hand sign gives jutsu speed. Tiger is a sign of fire activation. The use of hand and chakra signs made Naruto learn more. He wanted to create his own jutsu. Unfortunately, someone fell into his inner circle. He looked down from the tree and saw Sakura there. To be honest, he knew exactly what would happen if she found him. He noticed that she was not going to help them in this test. Her pink hair was clearly giving way. It didn't help that she was wearing a pink and bright red dress. He looked closer and saw that she didn't even have a bag of weapons. He sighed as he knew it was going to be a big problem, especially since she acts like she has this shit in her bag. He thought to himself, I hope for Kami something will change her. Unfortunately, this will not happen quickly enough. Well, I have to save her from myself, but not now. So he just went on reading his book in silence. An hour later, he saw the last Uchiha devotee reach the training ground. Naruto didn't trust the Uchiha. He has an aura that screams with lust for power. He heard various people talking about the Uchiha stealing their jutsu. Naruto didn't know if this was true or not. He was going to make sure Sasuke didn't do it. He sighed as he leafed through the next page of his book. He knew that his sensei would be late, so he pulled out the ration and ate it. He felt the trees bristle, as did his sensei. He was surprised because Kakashi never came so early. He sighed, closing the book. He was just waiting for the right moment. Training ground. Kakashi looked at the two members of his team. He said, Sakura and Sasuke, do you know where Naruto is? Sakura replied, where is this baka? What is he trying to do to make me and Sasuke-kun fail? When I see him, I will show what it means to be late. On the other hand, Sasuke was not only brooding. He thought to himself, where is Dobe? Doesn't he know that if I fail, I won't be able to learn to defeat Itachi? I will not lose because of you, or because of anyone. Kakashi felt the wind pick up. Although he looked aloof on the outside, it was different on the inside. He thought, this wind is permeated with chakra. Looks like the man in the tree is finally getting out. This guy could be a problem in the future. In the meantime, I will wait until he takes a step. Sakura said, Kakashi-sensei, where does this wind come from? She felt the wind carry her away. Suddenly the wind stopped. A blonde was right in his place. Sakura was so surprised by the sudden appearance of Naruto that screamed. Kakashi saw that Naruto was next to Sakura. His eyes widened as he didn't even see or feel Naruto's presence nearby. It scared him terribly, but he had to keep it to himself. He said, "Naruto, you are late for our test. Do you want to explain, HMM?" Naruto's eyes changed color from gold to bright blue. He said in a polite tone, "Kakashi-sensei, I was here before anyone else. I just sat in a tree and waited for your arrival." Kakashi's lone eye widened. He was in a tree. It's impossible. I didn't even feel him approach. What is Naruto up to? I'll have to look after him. The other two were extremely shocked as they didn't even know Naruto was there. Sakura thought Naruto was lying. Sasuke, on the other hand, wondered how strong Naruto really was. He shrugged because Naruto was dope after all. He couldn't be that strong. He can. Kakashi pulled out his alarm clock. He said, "Well, Team 7, your test is about to start. Your test is to rip those 2 bells out of my belt." Sakura asked, Kakashi-sensei, why are there only 2 bells?" Kakashi gave her a smile. He said, "Very good, Sakura. There are only 2 bells, because only 2 can pass the test. Plus you only have an hour to get them. Before I forget, you must come to me with the intention of killing." Naruto said in a relaxed voice, "Are you sure, Kakashi-sensei? What if you get hurt?" Kakashi gave him a smile and said, "Well, Naruto-kun, if I get hurt, then you did a really good job." This brought a smile to Naruto's face. It was not the sly smile that Naruto was known for. No, it was a predator. Kakashi would later regret this. Kakashi smiled and said, "Start." Sasuke and Sakura decided to hide in the bushes. Naruto sat on the ground in the lotus position. He closed his eyes and said, "Kakashi-sensei, I would advise you to take me seriously." Kakashi reached into his pocket and pulled out his orange book. Kakashi thought Naruto had a mark on his forehead. Instead, Naruto smiled. He pulled a book out of his pocket. It was exactly the same book as Kakashi. He opened the book and said, "HMM, poor Kakashi, this book is signed by Jiraiya. It says to my favorite Kakashi fan, Jiraiya of the Sannin. Which one did you get?" Kakashi's eyes widened as his book turned to smoke. As the smoke went up, Kakashi was kicked in the face and pushed him away. Naruto closed the book as Kakashi looked at him in shock. He grinned and said, "I told you to take me seriously. As your meritorious punishment, I will destroy your precious book with my newly created jutsu." He dropped the book and made gestures with his hands. Dog, rabbit, monkey and bird. Then he said, "Fuatan. Maru Rezinben no Jutsu. Wind style. Round razor blade." His right hand began to turn into a transparent circle. When the book fell, Naruto made several movements of his wrist. The book shattered into pieces and flew in the wind. Kakashi, Sakura and Sasuke couldn't believe their eyes. Naruto grinned and said, "Kakashi, now you can be serious. I want to fight." Naruto then rushed towards Kakashi. He pulled a kunai and tried to punch Kakashi. Kakashi came out of his stupor and saw red, and it was not Naruto's jacket. He quickly dodged Naruto's punch and stabbed back with an elbow to the head. Naruto fell and jerked his leg. Kakashi jumped only to see 3 kunai walking towards him. He dodged them only to see that they were robbed kunai. The 3 Kage Bushin have no fun and attack Kakashi in the air. The first of them struck a side blow to Kakashi's head, but missed. This caused Kakashi to hit him with one of his kunai. This proved useless, as the other punched him in the back. Then another kicked him in the jaw. This sent him to the tree. He landed with a foo sound. He thought, "Damn it, this blow hurts. Who is this child? He is supposed to be the last dead. Whoever said that? I'll find them, and kick their ass." He made some great combos with Kage Bushin, and henge at great speed. He even created his own jutsu. I may have to take it seriously. He may be the only child I know who can. His thought process changed when he felt the tree he was sitting on hit. He looked down and saw that Naruto had loaded his created jutsu. He thought, "Damn, you have to get off the tree before it falls." He jumped from the tree only to see Bushin come out of the tree with him. He spun the kunai in the air and made it explode. He landed with his feet on the ground. He said, "I have to say, Naruto, your skills are very impressive. But you rely too much on your Kage Bushin. This is becoming a cliché, don't you think?" Naruto grinned. He said, "I agree with the government-wide blithely. I think this is how the chain holds me. Well, I guess I got that chain." Kakashi realized something was wrong when he said he was chained instead of changing. The next thing he remembered was Naruto gesturing with his hand. "Rat," he said, "Hijutsu. Kusari Gori Tento. Secret art. Chains from heaven." Soon, Kakashi felt the chains rise from the ground. The chains grabbed Kakashi's hands. He began to struggle because he could not move. Soon, his legs were chained. Soon, he began to sink to the ground. His eyes must be deceiving him. He couldn't believe Dobe was hitting their sensei. Naruto was not even close to Jonin's level, but his abilities manifested themselves differently. His demeanor was calm and relaxed. It wasn't Naruto. It couldn't be. Right now, he should be hanging from the same tree that Kakashi was on. He wanted to see what his Jonin sensei would do. Did he even want him as his sensei? Naruto heard a cluck coming from the ground. He quickly jumped up when he saw the electricity coming out of the ground, destroying the training ground. He lands on a piece of ground. He saw Kakashi climb out of the ground. Kakashi was breathing heavily as he said, "Naruto, I hate you so much right now. You destroyed one of my valuable possessions." Then he had the audacity to drown me in chains. I only survived because I used lightning jutsu to break it. Wanted me to be serious, and then I will show you seriousness. He made gestures with his hands. Bull, monkey, rabbit, rat, and about 30 more gestures with his hands, and said, "Suiton. Suiton no jutsu. Water style. Jutsu of water dragon bullets." It exploded and something came out. A huge water dragon came out, his yellow eyes looking at only one person, his target. Naruto swore loudly. He made the familiar 3 gestures with his hand. His hand turned white again. When the fierce water dragon attacked him, he said to Kakashi, "Kakashi-sensei, it's time to see whose attack is stronger. Fueten. Marie Rezinben no Jutsu." Naruto put his left hand on his right wrist. He prepared for the water jutsu. He noticed that there was lightning in this jutsu. It must have been part of the plan when he got out of the ground with that lightning attack. He braced himself until he felt the dragon was close enough. When he was close enough, Naruto jabbed at him with his round razor disc. When the two attacks merged, a white light appeared. Soon, water exploded everywhere. Water hit Sasuke and Sakura. Kakashi closed his eyes to protect himself from the water. When he opened his eyes, he saw Naruto in his power stance. When he looked closely, he saw that Naruto was not wet. In fact, it was the driest there. He didn't look happy at all. He said with a growl, "I don't like getting wet." The pink-haired girl couldn't believe it. Baka won the fight with her sensei. She felt her knees buckle. Naruto's sheer strength was amazing. She didn't know what she could do. If Naruto is that strong, it means her chances of building a team are getting slimmer. She knew that she could not defeat her Sasuke-kun. So her only hope for Naruto will eventually fail, and she and Sasuke will receive the bells. She just didn't know how she could move when she was paralyzed. Naruto and Kakashi faced off. Kakashi thought, "Damn, this kid is amazing. He's definitely better than the Uchiha. I don't know if I should even use it at all. I mean, I can't use the Sharingan, because I don't want to waste all my energy. However, as he fights me, I may have to. I know I'm pretty damn sure I can't use the Chidori, because it's used to kill, but if I don't, I might as well die. His skills remind me of Itachi, and it's intimidating. This is a brand new ball game. He only has a few minutes left. I think I can last that long, because if I don't get well, I will be in big trouble." Kakashi said, "Naruto, you are very impressive. Unfortunately, you only have a few minutes left. Do you think you can last that long?" Naruto frowned. He said, "You know, Kakashi-sensei, I personally find it rather strange that you don't have this right now. You need to stop hitting, as it doesn't benefit either of us. I won't know anything if you hold it in your hands. Back. To be honest, I really expected you to use this deadly trick, but it looks like you are too cunt to use it. Don't worry, though, I will force you to use it, even if it means I have something to show." At high speed, he gestured with his hand, a bird, and said, "Fuatan. Furiadan no Jutsu. Wind-style wind dragon bullet technique." The wind rose behind Naruto. Soon the wind began to take the form of a dragon. The dragon shook the trees as it was larger than the water dragon Kakashi. Kakashi was shocked by Naruto's wind dragon bullet. He knew that if he got out of the way, Sasuke and Sakura would get hurt. Was that his plan from the start? Will he summon this creature and endanger his would-be teammates, only to face Chidori and the Sharingan? He's absolutely crazy. But it worked. As if he had a plan all along. He made sure they were paralyzed, and forced my hand. He's really good with his emotions. I think I need to save the other two. He created 2 cage bushins. He told his doppelgangers, "Okay guys, you have to hurry up. Put them in a safe place and scatter them. I'll deal with Naruto personally." The 2 clones nodded, and went to do their job. Kakashi raised his Hay-8, and showed his Sharingan. The wind dragon went through all the training grounds. Kakashi was able to avoid most of the damage. However, he did not remain unharmed. He had deep wounds, as the side attacks were powerful enough to hit everyone. Gasping for breath, he noticed that Naruto's strength was on a different level. Naruto grinned and said, "So you finally let him out of the cage. I have to admit it looks cool. However, that's not why I wanted you to activate it. The reason is because I want to fully meet the infamous Chidori. Be aware that this method is ineffective if you do not have the ability to change direction, if necessary. Now I can see how strong he really is. So let's go through another round. After all, it's just me and you. My disc attack on the best versus is your attack. The winner is the best person. You have nothing to lose. Kakashi thought about it. Naruto was in control of the situation for now. So he said, "Okay, Naruto, this is the last attack. Get ready, because you will face your movement, which has hurt many people." He made gestures with his hands. Bull, rabbit and monkey. Soon, lightning began to form around his left arm. His hand turned blue with a yellow exit from it. Naruto grinned and gestured with his hand. His hands turned white. Naruto said, "I can finally see who is stronger. Get ready, get ready." At the same time, two fighters attacked each other. Both flinched as the two houses of elemental power rose. Time seemed to slow down for two. The wind got stronger the longer Naruto held it back. The closer Naruto got to her, the louder the lightning sounded. Sasuke and Sakura's eyes widened as they sat in a tree and watched two powerful elemental attacks clash. They heard Naruto and Kakashi screaming, "Fuutan! Muri Rezinben no Jutsu! Chidori!" The two attacks collided with each other. A deep white light illuminated the practice area. The big boom covered Konoha. The force is so strong that it sent Naruto and Kakashi back. Kakashi hit a tree while Naruto was able to stand up. Kakashi stood up, although his body ached in many places. He heard the call. He smiled and said, "Well, Naruto, as fun as it is, you unfortunately forgot the incentive to get the bells. You do not pass by." Then Naruto did something unexpected. He laughed. He literally cried when he said, "Kakashi-sensei, I don't always look focused, but I always do my job." Then he reached into his pocket and pulled out two bells. Kakashi's eyes widened. He looked down and saw two bells on his belt. Naruto decided to explain, "Since you were in the midst of a battle, you noticed that the clones were switching. So much to work with, right? Oh, and before I leave, I have a gift for you without taking me seriously. I'll see you're in the hospital." As soon as Naruto disappeared, Kakashi saw the bell transform into Naruto's cage Bushin. Before he could do anything, Bushin punched him in the kidney with a kunai. Kakashi cried out in pain. A bright, innocent smile shone on Bushin's face. He told the sick Kakashi, "Be careful what you wish for. You can just get it." Bushin looked at the two spectators. He bowed slightly to them. Before leaving, he heard Sasuke ask, "Dobe, where did you learn these techniques?" Bushin smiled and said, "You should take sensei to the hospital. And don't worry about it." H scattered in puffs of smoke. Saratobi has a small beard and short spiky hair, both dark gray, almost silvery. It also has lines running vertically under each eye. He has liver spots on his head and arms. He is now wearing the Hokage robes. Saratobi took his seat in the center. The Sandem Hokage was waiting for all 11 Jonin sensei to arrive. The most famous were Asuma Saratobi and Kurenahi. He said, "Okay, Jonin sensei, please tell me who passed and who lost." Team 1 failed. Team 2 failed. Team 3 failed miserably. Team 4 didn't even try. Team 5 almost committed suicide, so they were defeated. Team 6 was not worth the time. They were defeated? Saratobi was waiting for Kakashi. He said, "Kakashi, where are you?" At that moment, one of the ANBU entered. He was extremely nervous as he realized Kakashi's intent to kill. Saratobi's hard look made him know what to say, otherwise you won't have a voice. Poor ANBU squeaked. Hokage-sama, Kakashi-sama couldn't come to the meeting. Saratobi tapped his fingers on the table and said, "Please explain why Kakashi won't be here. It would be better if there was a good explanation." ANBU finally got a voice and said, "Hokage-sama, the reason he is not here is because he is in the hospital. He received a ruptured kidney from his student Naruto Uzumaki. Other disciples brought him in. He also has various cuts and injuries. He sent me to give you a message that they all went through because of Naruto. He also said that he didn't want Naruto to do anything with the team, as he couldn't test them as required all the time to fight Naruto. The fight was off scale. I have this on video for $10. This is the only time in my life to see Kakashi's Sharingan beaten by an academy student." Jonin-sensei almost panicked. Saratobi silenced them. He said, "Tenzo-san, give me the cassette. I want to see what happened personally." Naruto was lying on his bed. He was waiting for someone or something. He continued to read his book. He looked at his wrist, which he taped on. The movement was powerful, yes, but the consequences were disgusting. He took out a book and began to read. However, his thoughts were focused on the battle. H knew that Kakashi was staying away from him, but still, he needed to get stronger. Soon he felt the wind stir his curtain. He closed the book with his eyes. He sighed and said, "It's time." Phoenix-sama and Karasu-sama 7. Part 2. Advice. Naruto opened his eyes and saw two humanoid birds staring directly at him. The first bird is to Phoenix. The creature's body was about 6 feet high. His body was a combination of blood red and bright orange. There was a kanji mark on his body that Naruto could not read due to what happened earlier. Its feet had 3 claws in the front and 1 in the back. Its wingspan was at least 10 feet long. Its wings were red and gold on its back. Inside, it was orange and silver. The face of this creature was majestic, like the face of a swan. The face was golden with a tinge of red. His eyes were golden, crescent-shaped. The creature was extremely beautiful, majestic, and generally powerful. The second bird was Karasu. He was even 6 feet. Its body is covered in pitch black fur with a single silver line running down its back. He had the face of a raven. His eyes were glossy black with a red tint. Its beak was silver. Its wingspan was about 8 feet long. Fenikasu said, "Hi Naruto-kun. It really has been a long time. How are you?" "From what Fox told me, you've learned Phoenix Jutsu pretty well." "Fox enjoyed spending time with you, Naruto." Karasu decided to say, "Give a damn. Don't try to be prestigious. You know, and I know, that you have a mouth, and you do not like formalities. Anyway, Naruto-kun, I've heard so many good things about you. Since then, our last meeting, the Reaver told me that you are highly committed and adept in the Raven's path." Naruto bowed to the two. He said, "Phoenix-sama and Karasu-sama, thank you for your kind words. I've worked a lot on this technique. I also have to thank you guys. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be so skillful like me? 5-year-old Naruto ran away from the villagers. Naruto stole an apple from the grocery store, as he had no money, and was hungry. He knocked out his little heart. He knew he had done wrong, but still he needed to eat. He was cornered, and knew he was in danger of injury. Before being hit, he disappeared in a flash of light. Fenakasu started snapping his fingers across Naruto's face. He shouted to Naruto, "Focus!" Naruto instantly snapped out of his stupor. Naruto said, "Gamen, I remembered meeting you too." For now, this answer was enough. Karasu said, "Naruto-kun, since you know your body is going through puberty, this means that your body is changing. Fox and River taught you almost everything. This is what you will have to experience. The reason we are talking about you, these are your bloodlines, begin to form. It goes back to your parents. One had a phoenix dojutsu, the other had a raven dojutsu." Naruto asked, "Karasu-sama, I feel the need to find out who my parents were. I mean, I hear River and Fox speak very highly of them. It was as if they were legends for them. It's a bad memory, and they say not now. I want to know, when is the right time?" These two can see the expression of loneliness and sadness emanating from his eyes. They wanted to tell him, but vowed not to tell him, until he was 16 years old, or became a chunin at the request of his parents. Phoenix really didn't know what to say, because he had a mouth. Karasu didn't know what to say either, although he was a voice of reason. Naruto said sadly, "I guess now is not the right time either. Come on." "Okay, Karasu-sama and Fonakasu-sama, what are your bloodlines? How are they activated?" Fenakasu decided to say, "Well, Naruto-kun, the Phoenix Dojutsu is really great. Most Dojutsu and Kekkei Genkai are descended from demons that have become extinct long ago. This is a story for another time. Dojutsu is activated during this time of need, when the body is unable to act. The legendary Phoenix Dojutsu wakes up in despair. It is a great responsibility to do this while the sun is out. The appearance of the Phoenix Dojutsu consists of the wearer's eyes turning golden. As you begin to strengthen your eyes, your golden eyes will take on a diagonal line on the right side of your iris. Then you will have a second diagonal line. As you master this, the two lines become bolder. The final shape is when the two lines meet at the bottom of your eyes. This will be a V sign, then 3 lines will grow on each side. Dojutsu works like this. The first shape will make your body change. You will be able to withstand the blows. Your muscle mass will become denser and more flexible. Your speed will increase dramatically. What's great about this is that when you turn it off, your body will become so dense. This is the first part. The second part is different. Your body will receive appendages. For example, you will gain wings in your back. By the way, it hurts a lot. Your body will become more receptive to the elements. You will be able to master the elements Kato, Ritten and Futon. This also means that it will be difficult for ninjutsu users to defeat you, as your body can withstand attacks. The final shape is difficult to describe. The power can make you disappear in the blink of an eye. Time and space mean nothing to him. Your body cannot be damaged. You will be able to use all elemental attacks without interfering with you. You will need a lot of chakra, but still, you will be able to use the 7 gates without dying. There are not many downsides, except that you need an abundant amount of chakra. This is the Phoenix Dojutsu, the body dojutsu. Naruto's eyes widened. He is honest with himself. This power sounds incredible. He said, Phoenix-sama, Phoenix, the dojutsu is incredible. The power itself is so strong that I cannot even describe this power. Fenikasu began to flex his muscles. Karasu just rolled his eyes. He said, now, Naruto-kun, haven't you learned that not everything that glitters is gold? I know you like the strength of the body. However, the power of the mind fights with the body. That's where the Raven Dojutsu comes. The Dojutsu of the Raven is known as the Dojutsu of the mind. It activates when your mind is under intense stress at night. It's very powerful. Let me start by telling you what it looks like. When you first activate it, your eyes will turn silver. In the next step, a blue backward diagonal line will appear on the left side of each eye. In the next step, you will get a blue backward diagonal line on the right side of each eye. They will connect at the top of the eye. When you fully master it, you will receive a dark blue ring that connects with a triangle. When your eyes turn silver, your mind becomes open. By open, I mean that your brain begins to see different ways to get out of the way and survive. You start using your environment to analyze situations. The first blue line opens the channels of your chakras. You get almost perfect chakra control even if you turn off your eye. Your brain capacity will also increase dramatically. You will be able to learn, memorize, understand and perform things much better. You will have a photographic memory that allows you to see fine details. You can also disappear into the shadows. If you are strong enough, you can send your entire team into the shadows and go unnoticed. In the next step, you will be able to use your chakra to a whole new level. You see, Naruto-kun, you can use your chakra to create invisible force fields. You can also send force field attacks to the enemy. You will be able to do telekinesis. By then, you will have mastered the elements of Daten and Suten. For example, you can pick up slabs of earth and throw them without using gestures or anything else. Meet. The final shape is amazing. The final form allows you to use your mind to craft weapons and other such things. For example, you can create a sword in the air. The strength and power that you can use is incredible. You can create so many things that you cannot be stopped. This is the power of the Raven Dojutsu, the Mind Dojutsu. Naruto was forced to admit that the Raven's Dojutsu was extremely powerful. As he thought about it, something huge occurred to him. He said, Phoenix-sama and Karasu-sama had the idea that you ever thought of teaming up to create one dojutsu. I have yin and yang, but it never happened. Karasu was the one who said, very good observation, Naruto-kun. Looks like River taught you analysis well. Naruto, we are two different personalities. Phoenix is the light in which everything is what it is. Everything is noble and noble. I am darkness. There is a difference between darkness and evil. Darkness is a shadow of light. We see the world in gray. The way we crows see the people of this world have their own plans. Their ideas about good and evil are greatly distorted. We believe that someone can never be completely good or evil, as this definition applies to society. We are absolutely opposite to each other. In order to unite, we do not have a common ground. Our summoners hated each other. They started a lot of wars, so we actually stopped having summoners and blessing them with our dojutsu. Your parents were really special. Naruto was proud of his parents. His ear twitched. Someone was approaching them. He said, Fennekus-sama and Karasu-sama, we must interrupt this meeting for now. Some intruders will come and talk to me. Ja-bye. Naruto-kun, we'll talk later. Ja-bye. Karasu responded by leading Phoenix into the shadows. Naruto sighed while lying on the bed. He waited a few moments, contemplating what he had just learned. He literally felt the eyes of people passing through him, trying to find some information. He then took out a kunai and threw it towards the ANBU. The ANBU gave way to the kunai. Naruto said politely, "Hello Anbu-san. How can I help you?" ANBU was surprised by Naruto's reaction. The captain said, "Naruto Uzumaki, you will have an audience with the Hokage and the Shinobi Council in 10 minutes. Do not be late." Naruto bowed to them and said, "Thank you, Anbu-san. Before you leave, I thought it would be in your best interest if you didn't try to spy on my house. You think so?" The rest of the ANBU members growled at Naruto due to his hidden threat. However, their captain waved him off and said, "If you say so, Uzumaki-san." Then they disappeared in puffs of smoke. Naruto sighed and said to himself, "This ANBU captain was cute. Well, I have more important things to deal with." He opened his drawer and saw his dress clothes. It consisted of a dull orange dress shirt with buttons. He has classic black trousers with a dark orange stripe running down the seam. He put on a jacket with the Uzumaki symbol on the back. Then he put on a dark orange tie. Naruto saw that he only had a few minutes to get to the meeting. He put his hands in the bird sign and disappeared into a whirlwind of wind. Saratobi called his Shinobi Council. He did not invite his advisors or the Citizens' Council as it was unnecessary. He pulled out his pipe and lit it as the Shinobi Council entered one by one. Shikaku Nara was the first to enter. Shikaku has 2 scars on the right side of his face, which are probably his most prominent feature. He has dark hair, tied up in a spiky ponytail, dark eyes and a goatee. His ears are pierced too. Shikaku wears a mesh shirt under a body armor, a deerskin coat over it, and hand protectors. He is Commander Jonin, and the main representative of the Ninja Council. Behind him was one of his best friends, Inoichi Yamanaka. Inoichi has a long ponytail that is darker in shade than his daughter. He also has blue eyes. Inoichi wears a standard body armor over black clothing, complete with hand guards, a forehead protector, and a sleeveless red coat. He is the leader of the Yamanaka clan. The next one is Sa Akimichi. Sa has long red hair and markings on her cheeks, which are a common trait of the Akimichi clan. He is dressed in samurai clothing, which includes a black suit, complemented by armor that depicts the clan symbol for food. He also wears a rope belt, hand protectors, and instead of a forehead protector, he wears a piece of cloth tied to his head, possibly to keep his hair in place. The next is the leader of the Inuzuka clan, Tsume. Tsume has an animalistic look that made her the hottest MILF in Konoha. She has long spiky brown hair, vertical slit pupils, and elongated fangs, and nails. She also has clan fang marks on her cheeks, as well as marks above her eyes, and a dark shade of purple lipstick. She wears the standard Konoha shinobi outfit. The next is the stoic and analytical Shibi Aburame. Shibi, like all members of his clan, has his eyes closed. He wears dark glasses, with a tassel dangling from them. He has very spiky short black hair, and a mustache. He wears a high-collar garment, and a large pumpkin on his back. He is the leader of the Aburame clan. The last person to enter is the stoically arrogant Hiashi Hyuga. He has long, dark brown hair, and faceless white eyes. Like all members of his clan, he usually wears very traditional, loose robes. He has a tattoo of the Hyuga clan symbol on his wrist. He is the head of the Hyuga family clan, and the second commander of the Jonin. Saratobi picked up the phone and said, "Hello, Shinobi Council. I know I pulled you out of dinner, which I'm sorry for. However, a problem arose during the Genin exams. I'll explain when our guest gets here. Ah, let's talk about the devil, Naruto Uzumaki. Please join us." The council saw Naruto come out the door wearing a suit and tie. They blinked because just a few days ago the boy was wearing a bright orange tracksuit and screaming that he would become Hokage. They blinked as he bowed politely to them. They were absolutely shocked and impressed with how he looked. He said, "Good afternoon, Hokage-sama and the Honorable Shinobi Council. I assume you wanted to talk to me." Saratobi replied, "Oh yes, Naruto-kun. Please sit down." Naruto pulled out a chair across from the board. Surprisingly, Naruto was very calm and polite. This made him suspicious. Saratobi continued, "Naruto-kun, we noticed that something happened during your Genin exam. Could you explain what happened?" The council members were intrigued by what happened during the Genin exam. Admittedly, they were too happy for their children to hear of anyone else. Naruto knew something was wrong, but he was going to play politics like a trump card. He said, "Of course, Hokage-sama. Kakashi-sensei tested Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno and me. We were given the prestigious bell test, in which it was intended to receive bells. Murder. He underestimated us, and we were able to grab hold of the bells. During our battle, a quote from your Hokage-sama came to my mind. The quote was, 'It doesn't matter if they are Genin or Kage. They are still ninja, trained to kill.' I took that heart, but it looks like Kakashi didn't. So with the intention of not only protecting us in the future, and perhaps giving Sasuke and Sakura some inspiration so they can improve themselves, and allow the skill to be underestimated to help them, I punched Kakashi-sensei in the kidney. I chose a kidney because you can live with one kidney. In addition, we hope that this has awakened Kakashi to the point where we cannot be so weak even towards the Genin, or future Genin." The Shinobi Council couldn't believe what Naruto had just said. To be honest, I didn't know how to comment. Sundime said, "This is very noble of you, but you missed out on the details, that you were constructing Kakashi's poems all along. Why is this so?" "This one heck of a surprise," was the advice. At first, they thought Naruto did it along with his team. It was definitely better than having dinner now. Naruto knew that Sandame was trying to get information out. However, Naruto had an answer to that. "It's time to play with hearts," he said. "Hokage-sama, how have you experienced, and I have learned that sometimes one person is enough to complete a deed. For example, if it weren't for Hisashi-sama, Lady Hinata would not be here. He took full responsibility for the death of Kumo Jongen. In this life, I noticed that sometimes one person has to sacrifice himself to save his team. This is how I looked at the situation then. I was going to tire Kakashi, so that the other two could grab the bells. Unfortunately, they were too shocked to do anything about it. So I did what I had to do, not only for the mission, but also for my teammates, countrymen and women, to be credited with the hope that they would do the same for me or someone else. Sandaime-sama, you yourself are familiar with the feeling of patriotism and sacrifice to help the village, because it is for this reason that you became the replacement for Tabarama Senju, Nidem Hokage. Saradabe's eyes narrowed. He said, Naruto, how did you know this story? Naruto replied in a polite tone, as you know, I want to be Hokage. There has never been an official way to be elected to Hokage status. My curiosity got the better of it, so I decided to take revenge, and asked around. Some older people gave me bits and pieces, but not too many. So, with the pieces I put together, I came to this conclusion. I'm right? Shikaku Nara, known for his intelligence and strategies, was caught off guard as he couldn't say anything. The boy clearly made ends meet, and began to look like the perfect Konoha shinobi, sacrificing himself for the life of the village. He wondered what spark of this politically healthy genin, who somehow defeated one of the most powerful jonin, in battle. He grabbed one of the reports he thought was too difficult to read. It spoke of Naruto creating the destructive Fuiten Jutsu. He was very interested in the fact that Naruto not only created his own jutsu, but also created a jutsu in an element that is extremely rare. From what he recalls, only Orochimaru and Asuma have that element that Konoha had. He knows that Asuma was with the 12 Guardians. There were no reports of Orochimaru's presence. He said, Naruto-kun, judging by some of the messages that went around the city, you created your own jutsu. It is true, and if it is, can you show us this? The Shinobi Council wanted to see a new move, created by Naruto. Naruto closed his eyes. He said, Shikaku-sama and respected Shinobi Council, I have no problem showing you this. He made gestures with his hands. Dog, rabbit, monkey and bird. Then he said, Fuiten. Marie Rezinban no Jutsu. Wind style. Round razor blade. His right hand began to turn into a transparent circle. They saw Naruto get up. He snapped his wrist, and hit the chair. The chair was destroyed in a matter of seconds. The Shinobi Council was delighted with this move. Hiashi used his Byakugan to take a close look at the jutsu. He gasped, which made the others look at him. He said, Azumaki-san, your jutsu is very impressive. The wind in the circular disc moves chaotically, but has a dominant sharp blade. At first glance, it looked like it was a Chidori wind form. However, upon further consideration, your jutsu can be used as a long-range jutsu, direct action jutsu, or a mid-range jutsu. The blades of the wind, together with some chakra, can cause the dominant blade to expand, hit different parts of the human body, and be able to kill them. A direct attack is a disc attack. How did you create it? Naruto turned off his jutsu. He said, Hiashi-sama, I created the jutsu because I wanted to have a characteristic technique. I've read how stamps and elements work together. I tried it and it worked. I think it was a beginner's luck. Any other questions that you want to be answered? Inoichi said, Naruto-kun, this is a sudden change in personality. From what I heard from Ino, you were the last in class. What caused this change overnight? Naruto grinned. He said, well, isn't that something? So, Ino-chan tells his parents about me. I'm flattered. But seriously, we are ninjas, who train during the academy. Because I am an unfortunate Jinchuriki of the formidable Kyuubi no Kitsun, I knew that I would not be able to study in the world if I showed my true self. So why be me if I can be someone else? Someone like, I am Hokage. Dattiabio. My personal favorite was I'm gathering with Sasuke Thema for Sakura woman on me. This was the funniest part. I have to admit I played well with the idiot, but everyone else played much better. What Ino was talking about is really irrelevant. Any more questions for the Shinobi Council? Saratobi said, Naruto-kun, as you know, your Jonin-sensei was out of action for about a week. As a result, there is no leader on your team. I believe that you are capable of being a leader. Bet. Naruto was intrigued by this. He said, What's the stake, Hokage-sama? Saratobi smiled and said, Well, as you know, Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno have not been tested. As a result, we don't know if they should be Genin, or not, cannot be sent back. So Jonin will check them out. If they pass, you become a Takabutsu Chunin, who can teach, and be in charge while Kakashi is not working. If they don't, you won't be able to become Chunin for at least 3 years. What do you think you should be doing as a Konoha ninja? Naruto's eyes narrowed. He tried to understand what Saratobi meant. He thought for a moment. Then he became steadfast. He said, I'm sorry Hokage-sama. I cannot accept this offer. Saratobi narrowed his eyes. He thought Naruto would definitely accept the deal. He asked, Why don't you agree to the deal? Naruto said, The reason is simple. I would have lost. I would have a 99% chance of losing. You see, I caught those sweet subtle words. You see, if you said they would fail, then I would go all in. The reason is that none of the Jonin wants to be ostracized for failing the last faithful Uchiha. However, since you said that they have already passed, there is no reason not to hold back, especially since I am the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. They will make sure Sakura is beaten almost to death, and will make sure Sasuke is unconscious at best. I will put my team at risk if I accept this offer, so I can wait to become a Chunin, if that means saving my team. The Shinobi Council was extremely impressed with Naruto's inference abilities. Saratobi said, Congratulations Naruto-kun, because of your ability to draw conclusions and analyze situations. I believe I can speak on behalf of the rest of the Shinobi Council. When I was promoted to Takabutsu Chunin, always be on top, and show us that our trust is not in vain. Come to my office tomorrow morning, because I can give you a quick rundown of what to do. The Shinobi Council applauded young Naruto. Naruto bowed and said, Thank you Hokage-sama, and the Honorable Shinobi Council. If I can leave, I have a very busy day tomorrow. They nodded, and let Naruto leave. When Naruto came out, he said to himself, Politics is really a very deadly thing. Part 3. The morning came early for Naruto. He sighed as he stood up. He donned a dark orange shinobi outfit. He told himself, I will go to Kakashi's after meeting the Sandaime Hokage. He signaled with the hand of a bird, and disappeared into the wind. Dad, who are we waiting for? Let's just continue the meeting so that we can already coach our teams, said the big bearded man. Sandaime said, Asuma-kun, you should learn patience. Now, as I said, we will wait until he gets here. Asuma just pulled out his lighter, and started smoking. Asuma had brown eyes, short black hair with spikes, and a black beard. His clothing consisted of the standard Konoha ninja uniform, although his body armor appeared to be darker than that of the other Chunin and Chunin. He wears the belt of the 12 ninja sentinels on his belt, with the inscription Fire. He also wore a bracelet on both wrists. Asuma is generally a laid-back person, but he was really annoyed today. He had a hangover from the night before. An ANBU member woke him up and said there was a meeting, and then found out that his sister had taken a cruise to Thailand with her husband for 3 weeks. This is not a problem, except that now he has to take care of their 8-year-old child, Konohamaru. This kid was as horny as Naruto. Speaking of Naruto, the wind began to flutter. 3 people closed their eyes. When they opened them, they saw Naruto looking at them with Minato's stoicism. Asuma saw the new Naruto and said, "Daddy, who the hell is he?" Naruto decides to answer for the Hokage. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki, but you can call me Naruto." Asuma and Kurne blinked. What was he doing here? He cannot be the infamous Naruto terrorizing the ANBU. No, it can't be, can it? Naruto noticed the way they were looking at him. He was going to take care of it right now. He said, Sorry sir and madam, may I know your names?" The woman who used to be very calm said, "Kurne-uki." Naruto feigned surprise. He said in a believable tone, "You are Kurne-uki. You are the Ice Queen of Konoha, mistress of Konoha Genjutsu, Queen of the Red Thorns, and the 3rd most powerful woman in Konoha, alongside Agao Uzuki Purple Blade, and Anko Mitarashi, Lady of the Serpent. It is a great honor and pleasure for me to meet with you." Kurne saw Naruto bow to her. She naturally blushed at the praise. Kurne said, "Thank you Naruto. I am also pleased to meet you." There was a smile on his face when he saw Asuma's irritated expression. He said, "How about you, sir? What is your name?" "Asuma Saratobi." Naruto said, "So you are Asuma Saratobi. I've heard rumors about you. I heard that you were part of the legendary 12 Daimyo Guardians Hai no Kuni. It's not as good as the death of that young child, when you tried to use one of your futon powers." Asuma's face was dark. How did he know this? He didn't want to tell if it was true or not, especially in front of Kurne. He took a drag on his cigarette and said, "You know, you don't have to believe all the rumors you hear." Hook, line and lead, Naruto thought as he grinned inwardly. He said, "You are absolutely right, Asuma-san. Rumors can be deadly for a person. For example, believing that someone is dead last. They have blonde hair, and screaming that the Hokage is someone you can ignore. Rumors are too street. You can believe them, or not. The best thing to do is to keep your eyes and mind open, and your convictions quiet." This was taught at the academy, where you once taught. Naruto and his subtle meanings seriously take Saratobi by surprise. Asuma glared at Naruto. He didn't like that Naruto caught him on rumors. Naruto continued, "Sundame-sama, I want to apologize for being late. I didn't know when to be here. Are we ready to start the meeting?" Sandame said, "Oh, yes. Kurne-chan, Asuma-kun and Naruto-kun, you are currently the leaders of Team 7, Team 8 and Team 10. Wait, it comes up. You want to tell me that Naruto is the leader of Team 7. When did this happen? What happened to Kakashi? I mean, it's out of order, but still, it doesn't explain that he is here." Before Sandame could explain, Naruto spoke up, "Asuma, as much as I like what you said, I will fight you to the death for the right to say it. However, your opinion does not matter. You see the reason why I believe I am the leader of the group, even if it is temporary, because of the information that Sandame was about to give us. He was clearly going to convey something like a protocol, or a new way of teaching. If he provided a replacement for us, it would be more than just information that Kakashi would like to know. It would be much easier if I were a correspondent or interim leader. Both Asuma and Horizon dropped their cigarette and pipe, respectively. Kurne had to replay the scene again to hear what Naruto said, and what was happening. Naruto closed his eyes, and waited for Horizon, or even Asuma to answer. Then Naruto took a deep breath, and a furious wind blew out. Horizon came out of his stupor and said, "Naruto-kun, why did you do this?" Naruto said, "There was a small fire burning there. I could live in High no Kuni, but I don't want to die of fire." Horizon saw Kurne giggle. Asuma thought about it. The guy really pissed him off about other things. Horizon said, "Thank you for putting out the fire. Now I have an assignment for the three of you. You see, it's a tradition for fresh, new Genin sensei to complete assignments with each other. The reason is that the three of you work together, and learn to trust each other. The belief is that if you can trust each other as your fellow leaders, then you can teach and influence your students." Naruto and the other two nodded. Saratobi continued, "It's great that you all agree with that. Your mission isn't a rated mission. You are about to walk past Kurigakure no Sato to Asu no Kuni. Obviously, there are a few missing ninjas that are causing trouble. You know that there is a civil war going on in Kurigakure. Unfortunately, we cannot get around Kiri. You will have to go through Kiri. Be careful and return safe and sound. The team leader will have to speak with the Ice Council. I will choose a leader." Asuma grinned, because it was a great opportunity to teach the child a few things. Naruto looked at Asuma, and saw that Asuma could be a problem on this mission. Kurne thought about Kiri, and how to avoid death. Saratobi said, "Okay, Asuma, I would choose you. However, due to your laid-back personality, and the fact that you were a member of the 12 Guardians, and were very close to the Fire Daimyo, this could be a conflict between Fire and Icelands." Asuma couldn't believe it. Due to his connection with the Fire Daimyo, he could not be the leader. So his trump card was taken away. Naruto smirked slightly. He would have preferred Kurne to be the team leader. With that said, "Kurne, you would be the team leader. However, there is one small problem with being a leader. Asu no Kuni is very sexy. I don't remember why, but they are known for it. They fought quite a long time with Amazon women. Because you are such a strong woman, it could jeopardize your agreement with them." Kurne was furious. Not because she was not a leader. No, it's because of the sexist bastards. Why did Konoha trade with such a country? Naruto saw where this was going. He had a feeling of stomach emptying. Saratobi said, "Well, that means Naruto will be in charge." Naruto could only blink. He really didn't know what to say. Asuma, of course, said, "Dad, what are you talking about? The child has no experience. For Kami's sake, this is his first mission. I mean, he's the first child since you know someone who's 13 years old. Complete a mission of rank. Look how he turned out to be." Naruto didn't like being humiliated, although it was true. He didn't like it. He said, "I may not know who you know who is, but I am not him. I am Naruto Uzumaki, and this is always who I want to be. Of course, I have flaws, but that does not mean that I cannot lead the team. I do not mean any disrespect for you, Asuma-san, But you don't know me. So connect me with anyone you know who. Because I'm his age. It's just ridiculous. If I want to be a strong, understandable, and influential leader, I need to be able to go out and lead. I cannot hide from the world and expect to become a powerful ninja out of the blue. I want to be a leader like Asuma-san and Kurnei-san. Then it will be very useful for me to learn from them how to follow orders and obey them. Both Saratobi could not blame Naruto for reasoning. Asuma was too stunned to comment. Kurnei had to go through these reports again. Sandaime said, "Well, Naruto, then it's settled. You will be the team leader for this mission. On my desk there are reports on the location and other things that might be important. So good luck. We'll be gone tonight." They said, "Hey," and went their own way. The rest of the Rookie Nine, even Sasuke, were celebrating death. They were at the new barbecue area, down the street from the ramen shop. Ino was the first to say, "Hello everyone, congratulations on taking the Genin test." She raised the very first glass of sake for her and the novices. The rest raised their glasses and began to drink. However, Sasuke didn't drink because he was thinking about something, and it had something to do with a certain blonde. Ino said, "Hi Team 8, how did you pass the test?" Kiba began to reply, "It was easy. Kurnei-sensei put genjutsu on us. We spent most of the match in circles. Then Akamaru and I realized that she was using a powerful genjutsu. Me and Akamaru kicked her ass. Aha." Hinata and Shino blinked at his convenient point. Shino adjusted his glasses. He looked at Kiba with his steadfast and eerie gaze. Kiba laughed seriously as he laughed nervously. Shino, on the other hand, didn't laugh and said, "Kiba, you mustn't lie. What actually happened is that Kurnei used genjutsu against us separately." Kiba was so into genjutsu that he believed Akamaru and beat her up. However, it was Hinata who used her Byakugan to incapacitate her genjutsu. When we broke it, I used my bugs to suck her chakra to obey. Even then, I know that she could easily defeat us, but still. The rookies laughed at Kiba except Sasuke. Sasuke's thoughts drifted towards Naruto every second. How is he so strong? He was cool dope. And yet he was able to defeat our Jonin-sensei. To make matters worse, I found out that Kakashi is one, if not the best Jonin in Konoha. How is it even possible that Dobe can defeat Jonin? Who is the real Naruto? Ino said, "We were divided because of ours. Asuma-sensei made me test in his mind. We fought there, and he whipped me in the ass, until I kicked him in the balls. This is what I call the fucking mind." Chaoji then spoke up, "He conducted a test of strength against me. We had to drag the boulders back and forth for about 30 minutes. I barely won, but I did it. I was happy. Damn, these boulders were pretty darn heavy. They easily weighed about 80 pounds. They laughed at Chaoji's plight. Shika chuckled, "Of course." And yet he felt that someone was missing. He looked around and saw that almost everyone was here, but for some reason he felt that someone was not here. He saw that everyone was looking at him to tell their role. He said, "It's unpleasant. Well, Asuma-sensei took out a test kit. He solved several puzzles with me. They were lightweight. Then we made some shogi and go games. It was about the same. Then he tested my shadow abilities. I passed. Easy, and that was almost all." Ino started whipping. She said, "Lob, your turn. And now the dish." Sakura didn't know what to say. I mean, she did absolutely nothing. Then Shika felt an extremely powerful chakra. He looked to where it was. He looked around and saw a guy with blonde hair and blue eyes. He wore a dark orange jacket and black trousers with an orange stripe on the side. Shika said, "Guys, look at him. Who is he?" The rookie teams looked at who it was. The man's attitude screamed authority. His eyes were somewhat closed, so they could not tell who it was. Ino, Sakura, and Hinata blushed as he passed. Ino said, "I don't know who he is, but I need a piece of it. Shika, you can stop him for me. Let's ask him if he wants to come with us." For some reason, Shiki had a bad feeling about this. His mind told him it would be unpleasant, but he gave up and obeyed. He stood up and made a sign to the rat. He said, restless, "Hey, who are you?" The man sighed as his shadow was associated with Shikamaru. He really didn't want to deal with them. He said, "Shika, you can free me from your shadow, please?" The newcomer's eyes widened. Their thoughts were the same. This is like Naruto. Shika said with clear shock in his voice, "Naruto, is that you?" Naruto rolled his eyes. He said, "Yes, Shika. Now please let me go. I have things to take care of." "No, Naruto won't do. You need to have a drink with us at least once. Why weren't you here with us at all?" It really was on their minds. Why wasn't Naruto here? Naruto said, "I have not received an invitation. It doesn't matter, although I already have my ramen and my drink, which was water. I'm full, and I really need to go. So Shika, I'm going to ask again, please let me go." Ino exclaimed, "Lob, I told you to invite your team. How could you forget Naruto, especially if he looked like that?" Sakura has become small. She began to realize that everyone was a little annoyed by Naruto's absence. Naruto said in a very serious tone, "I asked Shiku politely, but you don't seem to get the point. So." With a wave of his wrist, Naruto sent a powerful wave to the Shadow Doozer. The power was so strong that Shika happily went to the booth. They looked at Naruto with wide eyes. He was able to not only smash Shiki's shadow, but also directed Shiku towards the cockpit with one movement of his hand. Naruto said, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have to go. Enjoy the rest of your meal, and have a good evening." At the same time, a strong gust of wind forced the newcomers to close their eyes. When they opened them, Naruto was gone. Ino couldn't believe it. She said, "Lob, what the hell is going on? How is Naruto like? When did he recover? You might as well tell me how you got through." Sakura writhed in her chair. She tried to lie. "We could because of Sass." Her proposal was stopped by clapping on the table. To her, and the newcomer's surprise, it was Sasuke. He fired another shot before speaking. "Sakura, stop lying. Tell them how we actually got through." "But Sasuke-kun." She tried to speak, but he stopped her again. "Now, Sakura. I want to hear it fly out of your mouth. What's happened?" Sakura sighed. "Okay, Sasuke-kun. Guys, we passed by because of Naruto." They looked at the two with wide eyes. They couldn't believe what they had just heard. Ino, with a loud mouth and a little denial, said, "You mean Sakura after you, and Sasuke-kun tortured your sensei. It should be like this, right?" Sakura shook her head. She said, "As much as I want to say it, it's not true. Kakashi-sensei gave us a bell test. me, and Sasuke-kun hid in the bushes. In fact, he dated him all the time. He was doing something with his Kage Bushin. He even won the match with his own original jutsu. He had bells from the beginning. Unfortunately, he took our sensei to the hospital. When he hit him with a kunai, everyone looked at Sakura as if she were lying. It was when Sasuke stood up and saw his anger on his face, did they know she was telling the truth. Then the most amazing thing happened to Hinata. She blurted out, "Damn it." Kakashi was sitting in his bed and watching TV. He was under the influence of morphine, so the pain stopped. They saw other problems in the duel, as well. Even in a state of alcoholic intoxication, he was always on the alert. He saw the wind blowing his curtains. He saw his blonde student in his room. Naruto said, "Hey Kakashi-sensei, do you mind if I talk to you for a bit?" Kakashi waved his good hand and said, "Of course, Blondie. Hey, you're one of the lucky ones." Naruto said, "Why this Kakashi-sensei?" Kakashi's expression was too woozy when Kakashi said, "Most of the people who stabbed me in the kidney would not be alive right now." Kakashi laughed heartily as if it were the funniest joke ever. Naruto laughed too. He put on his jacket and pulled out several scrolls. He put some chakra into one of his scrolls, and a puff of smoke appeared. In its place was a tray of ramen. He said, "Kakashi-sensei, I know you must be tired of the bland hospital food, so I have some of the best ramen. I especially asked Ain to cook it for you. Here, you are." Naruto handed it over to Kakashi. Kakashi smiled broadly as he ate the ramen. Naruto just looked at his future sensei. He leaned back in his chair, as this could be one of the most important conversations he ever had. Ironically, this is all happening to a guy who is heavily drugged. He saw that Kakashi had finished eating and began to speak. "Kakashi-sensei, yesterday I was made a Takabutsu Genin." Kakashi nodded. He said, "Congratulations, Naruto. You are only the 5th in Konoha history to hold this title. You are the first to hold this title in peacetime. Your predecessors were great people. So keep this title well." Naruto replied, "Thank you. The fact is that I became Sasuke and Sakura-sensei for a while. To be honest, I really don't know how to deal with them. I mean, I have pride and ego in Sasuke that will not allow me to train him without trying to learn all my techniques. Sakura still thinks that I am a dobe, which is weaker than her, when in fact she is a burden to the team. Naruto, you don't think of my Chidori before you will go face to face with them. You have tunnel vision. This is your problem. Use your other talents, as word of mouth. I heard about your political ability from some of the council. You have to be able to tell people about emotions and weaknesses and use them to make them better." Naruto just sighed and closed his eyes. He chuckled and said, "I understand what you are saying. I'm also going to go on an A-rated mission starting tonight. Imagine my first mission will be A-rated." Kakashi smiled and said, "I'm proud. I know this is a peaceful time, so who are your teammates, and who is the leader?" Naruto started fiddling with his words. "It is hard to say," he said. "Well, my teammates are Kurne Ahi and Asuma Saratobi, leader. So Asuma is leading the squad. He is a good guy. A bit rude, but can be a nice guy. I hate his cigarettes, but hey, another person's hate is another person's vice. Kakashi-sensei, he is not leading the team. I am." Kakashi didn't answer right away. Kakashi blinked when it came to him. So you lead the team. This is great. It's a little strange that you lead the team with Gunnen, and you lead the team with Genin Takabutsu. However, this is the best part of being one of them. A title so prestigious that only the Hokage could determine what you can and cannot do. Don't get me wrong, you can be punished for insubordination, but the basic rules must be explained. Naruto smiled. He never thought more of him than the Kyuubi boyfriend. Naruto laughed a little. He said on a serious note, Kakashi-sensei, I want to know something. How did you fall as the leader of the group? Have you ever felt pressure? Kakashi thought for a moment. Then he smiled and said, I understand how you feel. Do you understand the meaning of the Drank missions? Missions are all about making mistakes. Not only does it have to be tedious, but it teaches how teamwork works. You see the tension and tedium of Drank missions that unite your team. Sooner or later you are going to complete the Torah mission. Torah's mission helps develop teamwork. You will also see your team's flaws and other little things. You can see that one of your team members can go to the left more times than to the right. You can see the team deliver a more effective hit with a direct attack. Better yet, you can see how a person responds to pressure. As a leader, you will make mistakes. You will never be perfect. You must remember this. Sometimes your choices of action will have a secondary role in the overall world, or may be an important part. Your choice could mean that someone will get a minor cut, or someone will die. We, as leaders, will all make choices that will keep us awake at night, but it's also nice to see your genin grow up and learn different things. When you see your genins become successful and see them become leaders, your heart is filled with pride. This means that you have become a successful leader. Naruto viewed his teachings with deep respect. He said, Kakashi-sensei, thanks for talking. Hope you get better soon. Sorry. Kakashi brushed him off and said, if I had a nickel every time my new genin hits my kidney, then I would get a nickel. Kakashi laughed again. Naruto just shook his head to his sensei. Now Naruto will be back here safe, because I'm going to test this move. I'll be out in 2 months. So train them well, and visit them from time to time. Good? Naruto nodded and said, see you later, Kakashi-sensei. With this Naruto disappeared with the wind. Kakashi's last thought process was Minato-sensei will be proud. Kakashi fell asleep. Later that night. Why are we doing this at Narutokun's house? A certain platinum blonde asked. Shikamaru said, I want to know who this guy really is. You can't change like that with a drop of a hat. Does this mean that we have to bring in the entire rookie class? Of course, entire rookie teams were outside Naruto's door. They were all curious about Naruto's sudden change. They were about to take back Naruto's house, when someone opened the door. It was Naruto Uzumaki. He said, hello, how can I help you? My master is not here now. Shiki had a disbelieving expression on her face. He said, Master? What do you mean, sir? Naruto grinned and said, I am Kage Bushin. Part 4. Kage Bushin looked at the 8 people at his master's door. The expressions on their faces disgusted him, as if they were waiting for him to answer them. He didn't need to answer them. He said, I guess you came up with this, Shikamaru. If you can, why are you spying on my house? Ino spoke first. Well, we wanted to know what happened. I mean, in 1 minute you will dobe. And then you are a new person. What's happened? Kage Bushin rolled his eyes. He said, well, in every little shinobi and little kunoichi there comes a time, if they still have it, when you grow up. Naruto, when did you get so angry? Answered Ino. Kage Bushin said, well, I got angry when people started spying on my house. I would invite you to come in, but since you were camping acting like voyeurs, I decided against it. Hinata said, how did you know that we are here? There were no stretch marks, or anything like that. Hinata grew up with the stoicism of her father, and her father's father. Heck, when she was 5, she even felt her great-grandfather's stoicism, before his death, due to the fact that her mother was from a branch of the family, and was such a gentle woman, she was considered gentle. When her mother died, she became as resilient as the rest of the Hyagas. She treated the branch clan much better than the other main branch. She did not use a seal on any of them, as she thought it was cruel, but that does not mean anything. She considered Naruto a criminal, but smiled the same way he did when he rebelled. So when Naruto matured, he really became interested in changing him. Naruto said, I have my own ways. Hinata, now please have fun. You guys don't need to train in the morning or something. Sasuke decided to intervene. Naruto, we are not leaving until we get some answers. So if you want to leave, you have to force us. Ino and Sakura jumped up and said yes together. Kage Bushin rolled his eyes and sighed. He really didn't have time to do this. He said, okay, give me 1 second. He closed the door. They looked satisfied as they thought they got Naruto. Sasuke looked very smug. However, they did not see anything coming out from behind them. When Naruto left, he pretended to be surprised. He said, guys, what the hell is this behind you? When they looked around, they saw only a blown-out gas canister. Shika said, son of a bitch, nasty bastard. He couldn't finish the sentence, and passed out. Their last memory was goodbye to Naruto's Kage Bushin. Kage Bushin sighed and said, well, that's easy. I have to admit that the master's fuinjutsu skills are impressive. Well, let me call their parents. I definitely want to see Hiashi's face. The real Naruto. Naruto ran tree to tree with his team. He saw that the frowning Asuma was looking at him with contempt. He saw that Kerne was looking ahead towards the destination. Naruto might be mature for his age, but at least he wanted to talk. He knew that as soon as they left Hai no Kuni, he would shut up. He said, Kerne-san, what's the dynamic of your team? Well, I plan on making my team a search, locate, destroy. Hinata will search. Shino will open. Kiba will destroy. She seemed proud of the way the speaker worked. Naruto isn't that much. He said, it sounds like a plan to me. But Kerne-san, don't you think that this can cause backfire? Asuma intervened. What are you talking about, kid? This is ideal for a group. You must be a baka, or something. Kerne said, Asuma, let him explain himself. It has been proven to have some considerations. Come on, Naruto-san. Naruto smiled. He sees more and more that Kerne is approaching, and does not see him as an offender. He said, Asuma is right in one respect. This plan is absolutely flawless. But there is a problem with absolute perfection. He fails more than helps. Let me explain. The noble Aburame, and the legendary Hyuga, are well known to all elementals. Nations, like Inuzuki trackers, are also renowned for their ability to use their dogs for killing. Now let's look at this situation. You have encountered a missing ninja. Let's say he's a genjutsu expert like you, but also an experienced daten or water user. It allows you to track it. Once you find him, Kibo recklessly attacks him with Akamaru. Then he can get Akamaru during the battle. Kiba is useless as he cannot think clearly, and Akamaru is in danger. Naturally, you would ask Shino to use his Kikachu beetles to suck the life out of him. However, if he uses Juten Jutsu, then Shino is useless. Yes, Hinata is extremely good at soft fist. But due to his daten ability, he can force her and you to stay away from him. Right there, he holds you in a deep heap. Excuse the tongue, shit. Who've just compromised your team because of the kinship of their families. Kurne was extremely impressed with Naruto's analysis. Asuma internally had to respect the analytical thinking of the child. It didn't mean that he should like it. He really couldn't blame the kid. He just didn't like being shown. She said, Naruto-kun is pretty smart. What do you advise me to do? Naruto smiled when he heard her call him Naruto-kun. He said, well, let's take a look at what we know. Hinata has eyes that can see distance. So why don't you let Hinata learn long-range jutsu? This can be beneficial to the team, as it gives the team a range. I would advise Shino to get a weapon like a sword, or a long hollow kune. He can insert his beetles into the weapon and cut someone. Then the beetles can potentially get into the wound. Kiba needs to stop being reckless. He also relies too much on Akamaru. If I put him in a genjutsu and kill Akamaru, then he might be ready for the entire fight, and possibly for life. Most, if not all of the clan heirs, do not know what it means to be a real ninja. Asuma chuckled when he had to agree with Naruto. Kurne was very surprised, and took this idea to heart. She said, Naruto-kun, why do you think this way of the heirs, and heirs of the class? I think it's about their development. While I don't care, I can't blame the academy. The main goal of the academy is to be a genin. They learn to throw weapons, learn different abilities, and all that. The problem is Konoha is extremely relaxed. I mean, we have been living in so-called peacetime for about 5 years. Because of this, our generation has not learned to feel lost. Honestly, only Sasuke knows the real loss. I have nothing to lose. Hinata must have lost her uncle, but she was young. None of the newbies know losing. I guess this is a flaw when it comes to pre-war, war and post-war times. Pre-war does not teach us about loss, so when war does come, we have no mental instinct to deal with it, which makes us vulnerable. Those who survive do not want their children to be like that, but this is a vicious circle. Asuma had to admit that this child had a very good understanding. Kurne should have thought about it seriously. He's right, in many ways. The question is, how does he learn it? Naruto saw that in a few moments, they were going to reach Kiri. He said, okay, Kurne and Asuma, we're going to get to Kiri. Do any of you know the way out of Kiri? He saw Asuma raise his hand. He said, okay, Asuma, where are they? Asuma grumbled, I know the Kiri rebels have 3 escape stations. One in the northeast will lead you to Willow. The second one to the southwest will lead you to Kumo. The one in the north will lead us to Asu no Kuni. Naruto looked at Kurne and asked, Kekkei, I know that you have studied the foreign policy of many countries. Can you tell me how the relationship is shaping up between Konoha and Kumo? She replied, Konoha and Kumo's friendship is very strained after the incident with the Hyuga kidnapping. They will probably kill us right away. From what I heard, the Gondame defeated the Raikage in a battle of speed. It's bad, like the Raikage from the past, as you know, harbored a grudge. He could not be an exception. Naruto cursed. Damn, this is bad. Our pass rate has dropped immeasurably. Okay, Sunday gave me these new wireless devices, called Bluetooth. It can locate people on your wave channel. It will send the link to your mind. Where is your team? I can also hear your conversations. To activate the Bluetooth, you must press the button. When it turns blue, you drop a drop of blood on it. It will blink 3 times, then turn red. Then insert it into your ear. Press the button, and it will disguise itself to the color of your ear. Since we are on the same wavelength, you don't need to worry about synchronizing it. The 2 Jonin-sensei shed blood on their blue teeth. He did exactly what Naruto said. They put it in their ear. Naruto said, okay, we have a 33% chance of surviving. It's funny that this is the same percentage as the student's academic performance. Either way, it looks like we're going to have to head into the thick of the fog to be killed. I don't want 2 Johns to die on my watch. Asuma and Kekkei said hey. They encountered the Kurigakure no Sato. As they got closer, the air became hazy. Naruto whispered, Kekkei, can you see the chakra covered in mist? He barely noticed her nod. He said, okay, can you break the chakra without being discovered? She whispered sarcastically, why do you think I'm a genin? Certainly can. Give me a minute. Asuma chuckled at Kekkei. Naruto wondered when this mission would end. Soon the fog cleared away. Naruto could see where he was going. Unfortunately, the 5 Kiri shinobi were ready to attack. Naruto said, fuck. It's time to fight. Naruto took a stance, but felt a hand land on his shoulder. He saw Asuma smirk. He said in a cocky voice, Naruto, I get it. Naruto's pride wanted to overcome Asuma's insolence, however he wanted to see Asuma fight. Naruto stepped aside. Asuma pulled a coin from his pocket. He said, hello, 5. Some people consider me a wizard. Well, I have a clever trick for you. You can see this coin well. I'm going to toss it in the air. When it reaches the ground, you will disappear. He tossed a coin into the air. Asuma grinned and pulled out the trench knives. He put the wind chakra on the blade. He said, hello, flying swallow. He made one piece. Nobody moved. Then the coin fell to the floor. When he landed, the bodies of the 5 Kiri ninja turned into 2. Asuma boldly said, I said. Naruto and Kekkei muttered, show yourself. He laughed, but saw that Naruto was ready to go. Naruto said, as funny as it is, we have to keep going. So they ran. Kiri was literally a bloodbath. Bodies were flying everywhere. Body parts were scattered all over the place. Somehow Naruto was able to hold his stomach. He saw that this time more people had come up to them alive. There were 3 people. They consisted of 2 jounin and 1 genin. The one on the right was a fresh young genin. He has short fluffy blue hair and dark eyes. He wears black-rimmed square glasses, paired with what looks like headphones, a blue pinstripe shirt, and camouflage-patterned trousers. In addition, he wears a forehead protector on the front of the holster that he uses to carry his katana. He also has shuriken holsters strapped to each leg. The next guy was Jonan. He is a middle-aged man with a patch over his right eye. In each ear he wears a talisman with a kanji that says here. He also wears a striped shirt and trousers with seemingly the same pattern, with a green robe over them. He has spiky blue hair. The Jonan in the center was a woman. She is a slender woman ranging in age from her teens to her 20s. She has ankle-length brown hair, styled in a herringbone back, a knot tied at the top with a navy blue ribbon, and 4 bangs in the front. She dresses in a long-sleeved navy blue dress that falls just below the knees. It appears to be zipped at the front, and remains open at the front to the right of the waist. The dress only covers the upper arms and lower chest. Underneath, she wears a mesh shirt that covers more of her body than the dress, but does not cover her shoulders, and still leaves a significant cutout. She also wears shorts in the same color as her dress, with mesh leggings underneath that reach to the knees. Around her waist, she wears a belt with a pouch, attached to the back on the left. Kekkei was a little jealous of Mai just from the look she gave Mai. Naruto and Asuma were forced to admit that the girl was hot, but that was not the point. Naruto saw that they were ready to attack. The woman said with authority, "Who are you, and what do you want?" Naruto walked over and said, albeit with a slight feeling in his voice, "Isn't it disrespectful, when you ask who we are? Don't tell us your name." "Anyway, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, and these two are Asuma Saratobi and Kekkei Ahi. Rei from Konohagakure no Sato. We're just trying to get to Asu no Kuni." The woman chuckled bitterly. "My name is Mai Turami, to my right is Juro, and to my left is Ao." So Kiri was finally beautified with the help of the Konoha bastards. "You guys even brought Uzumaki to boot. I'm sorry, Konoha bastard, but you can't handle it." Naruto's face turned stoic. His mind was processing what she had just said. "Guys, you even brought Uzumaki in the bargain. What difference does it make that I'm here? Something is wrong, and I'll figure out what it is." He said, "Okay, Mai Turami, then I think you want to fight very well. Kekkei, take this blue-haired guy. Asuma, we're going to fight the guy with the glasses." "I got this right here," they said hi in response. Kekkei saw that the man still didn't want to fight her. This angered her, because she hated being underestimated. She saw the trees behind Ao and grinned. Kekkei made signs with his hands. "A dog, a snake, a monkey, a bull and a tiger," she whispered. "Majin. Jubaku Satsu. Demonic illusion. Death binding a tree." Soon Kekkei disappeared. Ao was remarkably relaxed. Soon he saw a tree grab him. He saw that Kekkei was following him. He grinned as she hit him with a kunai. He dissolved in water. Kekkei's eyes widened only to feel the blow to his face. She hit the ground hard, and saw Ao looking at her with a smirk. He said, "Well, okay. If it's not Kekkei Ahi, she's the Genjutsu lady of Konoha. Nice attempt at Genjutsu. The problem is, I can see you through Genjutsu. Well, I think I can understand why you are Jonan." She spat blood from her mouth. She wiped it off and said, "It's true. You are Ao, thief of the Byakugan." He seemed to smile at her, so hard that it infuriated her. He said, "So Konoha remembers what happened to Kiyoshi Hyuga's eldest son. Hiyashi Hyuga. He was a great fighter, but I killed him easily. His death was not in vain. He was one of the most talented Hyugas in the world. I see more than any Byakugan could ever dream of. She gritted her teeth. Hiyashi was her Genin sensei. He was the one who made her what she is. She grieved his death, and the time has come to avenge his death. She stood up with a new purpose. She pulled a kunai from her sleeve and said, "You will die like that." She rushed to prepare to kill him. He barely dodged the attack. The problem is when he dodged the attack, he left himself open at the back. Kunai saw the hole and took advantage of it. She turned the kunai over and dealt the killing blow. Ao realized his stupid mistake and ducked. He tried to hit her on the knee, but she jumped up and sent 3 senbon to Ao. He got up and quickly got out of the way. She grinned as she was in the air. Initially, Ao was confused until he felt himself falling to the ground. His eyes dropped as he struggled to move. He said, "What the hell is going on?" She grinned at the way he struggled. She said, "I think the Byakugan cannot see everything. Only a true Hyuga can properly use the Byakugan." He spat out, "How did you do it?" She smiled, knowing that he could not move. She said, "Well, Ao, since you're going to die anyway, I'll tell you. I had a genjutsu on the ground, where you are now. The problem was getting you there, but you were so fixated on me that you forgot about my genjutsu ability. I have applied my Majin Jubaku Satsu on the ground, especially on the roots. If Hiyashi had this eye, this would never have happened." Ao growled, "Bitch, I'll kill you." She grinned as she pulled out a kunai. She said, "No, no, I will kill you." Asuma looked at the dung chuanin. He saw something flash in the dung man's mouth. He said, well, look what we have. You are one of the students of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. From what I can see, you are high up there. This is a great chance to kill one of their students." Chijur said, "So you are Asuma of the 12 Guardians. My sensei told me a lot about you, especially Jinpachi. After all, it's not every day that you take offense at the person who gouged out your left eye. I will definitely become one. The 7 swordsmen of the mist, as I present your head to them." Asuma chuckled and said, "Great conversation for such a small person. Well, I finished speaking, so let's fight." Chijur lunged at Asuma with a kunai. Asuma casually pulled out a kunai and threw it at him. Chijur quickly dodged the attack. When the kunai passed, Asuma grinned. Chijur felt a tingling sensation in his hand. He looked and saw blood flowing down his arm. His eyes widened as he did so. Asuma just twisted the kunai with his index finger. He said, "Look what happens when you look at your mouth. Don't worry, you won't speak soon." This time, he threw the kunai with incredible force. The strength was enhanced by the mighty wind chakra. Chijur threw one of his kunai to stop him. His eyes widened as Asuma's kunai cut through him like a hot knife through butter. He quickly descended to the ground to block it. He saw Asuma's face change to a murderer. Asuma pulled out the trench knives and attacked him with all his might. Chijur quickly got up and pulled out his katana. Chijuro barely held back the blow. He jumped back and made gestures with his hands. "Monkey, rabbit, bird and bull," he said, "take this sweeten. Isan nami tunari no tushin. Water style. 1,000 blades of roaring waves." Asuma had never heard this move before. He wasn't about to risk it, so a light breeze whirled around him. Chjur grabbed his blade. It began to glow blue and multiply. Soon one turned into two, then two into four, and so on. Soon the number of blades reached 1,000. Chjur raised his katana and lowered it. This caused all the blades to fall on Asuma. His eyes widened. Damn it, I've never seen this attack before. The wind picked up speed quickly. He said, Fuatan. Isaku Titsamaki no Tate. Wind style. 100 tornado shield. Of course, 100 tornadoes began to form. Forming water blades, they collided with a tornado. The force was so strong that water spilled everywhere. Chjur was breathing heavily, as the movement tired him greatly. Asuma grinned as he stabbed Chjur with his trench knives. Chjur saw transparent white blades approaching him. He slid his blade weakly to defend himself. When the blades of the wind hit the katana, she began to split the blade into pieces. Chjur's energy was also depleted as the sword was associated with Chjur's chakra wave. With each blow, Chjuro grew weaker and weaker. However, Asuma was surprisingly the same. He was the one who retained and reused his chakra and wind chakra. He kept cutting the bad knife until it was cut in half. The last transparent blade of the wind struck Chjur right in the chest. He sent poor Chuanin to the bleeding building. His body barely moved. Asuma casually approached him. He looked at the child. Upon further examination, Asuma saw that a tear had rolled down the boy's face. He said, Disciple of 7, I think it's time for you to die. It was a good fight, but I think it was your last fight. Chjur thought, this cannot be my last. I worked too hard for this to be true. I had to beat my class to become a genin. I kicked my ass to be on the team of the 7 apprentice swordsmen. I cannot fail, and will not let Jinpachi-sensei down. With that determination, Chjur made the last move. Naruto. Meanwhile, Naruto looked at the beautiful Mai Turumi. Her appearance, as beautiful as they are, showed a different side of her. Naruto said, Mai-san, why do you have such a dislike for me as you do for Uzumaki? I know the world is unfriendly, but I have done absolutely nothing to you. However, May heard, I know you are not a friend. She thought in her head. Who does this blonde beauty think she is? I can chat with any guy I want. I'll teach this punk he plays with. She said in a sickly sweet voice, Naruto, I will kill you. She lunged at Naruto, with amazing speed. She kicked Naruto in the head. Naruto ducked down, and kicked sharply. She did somersaults, and threw 3 senbon at Naruto. Naruto, of course, got out of the way. He threw 2 kunai at the red head. She surprised him, when she took the kunai out of thin air. She said, well, are we going to do this all day? Show me the value of these worthless Uzumaki. Naruto had no intention of letting this woman defame his last name, even if he didn't know what his people were doing. He just stood motionless and silently looked at his opponent. He looked into her eyes from afar and grinned, which caused her anger. He said, Mai-san, why don't you show me the virtues of the Kiri ninja? It did it for May. She threw 3 kunai at Naruto. Naruto, of course, parried by throwing 3 kunai at the kunai. Her kunai were reflected as she saw 3 more kunai approaching her. She cursed as she rolled back. This was in vain, as the alleged kunai from battle had previously turned into a puff of smoke. Kage Bushin emerged from the smoke and kicked her in the head. It was because of her enormous reflexes that she could block. Naruto grinned as his 3 other kune emerged from the cloud of smoke. Her eyes widened as she saw not 1, but 4 Naruto ready to fight her. She tried to hit one of the 4 Narutos. This is not good, as her leg was caught by one of Naruto. Another Kage Bushin kicked sharply, and pushed her onto her back. She did a back somersault only to hit the back of the head with her elbow. Her reflexes made her juice her hands, and stop the attack. She jumped over the Kage Bushin only to meet another Naruto, who kicked with an axe. She gracefully dodged the attack, only to feel the slap in her ribs. This moved her to the other side. She coughed up blood. Naruto was about to send his Kage Bushin some more to battle. That was until Naruto saw the smirk on her face. She gestured with the hand of a tiger and said, "Button Naoke no Jutsu." Lava release. Balls of lava. She took a deep breath and exhaled a stream of hot lava. Naruto was able to get out of the way. Unfortunately for Naruto, Kage Bushin was less fortunate. They were burned alive when fire surrounded the real Naruto. She smiled as she believed that Uzumaki had burned to the ground. Her eyes couldn't believe what they were seeing. The fire was carried away by a powerful gust of wind. She saw Naruto come out of the fire, with several licks on his shoulders and arms. He brushed off the little flames. He jokingly said, "You know, I'm really sad that I'm from Hai no Kuni, but they don't have fire-resistant clothes. TCH." She almost screamed. "How are you alive?" She couldn't understand it. Everything was spelled out, but here he was joking. By now, she wanted him 6 feet shorter. He absolutely drove her crazy. He was smiling. He said, This attack is very powerful, especially for the Kiri ninja. My futon nature is very strong. I sincerely hope this was not your strongest attack, otherwise this battle will end quickly." He pulled out 4 kune and threw them at her. The kune became Kage Bushin. She moaned and asked, "How many kune do you have?" She attacked the Kage Bushin and quickly destroyed them. She spun in the air. She said, "Button. Bagan no Baushi Nagare." Lava style. Rotating lava flows. She pulled out not 1, but 2 rods. The rods became very hot as the lava rose up the rod. As she twisted, the lava in the rod came out of the hole. This caused the lava to turn into streams in the air. Naruto's eyes widened. He tried to get out of the way. He realized that this was inevitable. He motioned to the bird and said, "Fuatan. Case Shukao. Wind style. Sailing wind." He made a powerful gust of wind. When the 2 elements connected, the wind was strong enough to stop the attack. In Naruto's head, he thought, "I have to give Fox and River the basket of awards. Kami-sama, this woman is powerful. Damn, I have to get this done quickly before night falls. I may have to use this trick faster than expected. I haven't really tested it, but I have to do something." She said in a triumphant tone, "I bet you didn't expect that from the Kiri ninja either." She truly believed that he was strong enough to keep going. She knew it would be over soon, so she was going to keep attacking relentlessly until he was done. This will teach the Uzumaki bastards what is what. She took one of her kune and lunged at him with great speed. She met him face to face to try and deliver the final blow. It was then that she saw it. His eyes were not blue. They sparkled with gold. He grabbed her to stop the kune. Her mind was not focused on the battle, but only on his eyes. It is extremely rare to have golden eyes anywhere. Even in ninja villages, to see golden eyes is a trillion to one. She didn't know why, but his eyes were mesmerizing. She came out of her daze when she saw him gesture with his hand, rat, and said, Hijitsu. Kusuri Yori Tento. As with Kakashi, Mai felt the chains twine around her arms and legs. It seemed to her that the force of gravity was forcing her body to sink deep into the ground. She struggled to free herself, only to feel herself falling to the ground. She saw the locks on the chains. She could read kanji on padlocks. One said chakra on it. Another said seal on it. Her eyes widened as she realized she couldn't use her chakra to break it. Naruto said, "This match is over, Mai. You cannot break free from the chains. I'm going to finish this now." He lunged at her with amazing speed. Her heart beat fast as she felt death approaching. When she looked up and saw a man who was about to make the light leave her precious eyes, the man did something unusual. He really kissed her. His lips closed over hers. Because of this, her eyes almost got out of her head. She went into shock for over a minute when Naruto pulled away. He had a blush, with a sly grin on his face. She said nothing as she was completely immobilized. He saw that two others were about to kill their enemies. Naruto said, "Kurne, Asuma, don't kill them." They looked at Naruto like he was crazy. Asuma expressed his opinion. "What are you thinking about? Let's finish them here and get it over with." Naruto said in an authoritative tone, "No, let them live. They are not the ones we want to kill. They fought on the side of the rebels. If you cannot tell, then you are even more blinded than I thought. Get to Asu no Kuni as soon as possible." The two Jonin sighed. They abandoned their opponent and left. They didn't turn away. That would be stupid. Asuma thought more about how he was told what to do from a simple genin. Before they left, Naruto turned and looked at Mai. He said, "Bye Machen. See you soon." Shortly before they bounced back, Naruto heard Mai scream, "I'll get you for this, Uzumaki. I swear by this." This made Naruto grin at his victory. In his mind, he thought, defeat Jonin in a real battle. Check. First kiss with a hot girl. Check. Sweet. Still something is wrong. Why does she have such a dislike for Uzumaki? Saratobi will give me an explanation when the time is right. I guarantee it. With that, they finally reached the north gate. Naruto sighed as the bodies flew again. He said, "Guys, there are reasons why they need to live. It's getting late, and we came to the gate. Let's go to Asu no Kuni." With this, Naruto and his team traveled past Kiri to the Iceland. Part 5. The Kidnapper in Between. Naruto and his team finally made it out of Kiri. They jumped from tree to tree with pride in their survival. However, there were some casualties. Naruto's eyes hurt badly. During the battle with Mai, his dojutsu was activated. This is usually not a problem. However, he must deactivate his dojutsu before 6 o'clock in the evening. If he does not, he will find himself in the predicament he is in now. He was kind of happy to have stepped forward because the other two hadn't seen it. When everything around him was filled with silence, tension rolled over. He needed to do something. As a result of these two problems, he began a conversation with two others. He asked, "Hello Asuma-san and Kurne-san. How were your battles? I know you won, but tell me about it." Kurne saw Asuma's incredulous expression and frowned. He chuckled softly and said, "There really isn't much to talk about. The 12 Guardians are the rivals of the 7 Swordsmen of the Hidden Mist. So it was kind of a refreshing moment to beat the hell out of one of their students. He is also of high rank, as far as I remember, when he was younger. He'll make a great swordsman. If he doesn't, you know, he'll die." Naruto chuckled lightly at this extremely dry joke. The pain was there, and it throbbed with every step. He winced slightly, but never missed a step. He saw Kurne and said, "How about you, Kurne-san? How was your match?" She sighed and jumped. She frowned, because she really didn't want to talk about it. She said, "To put it simply, I felt like I finally got confirmation." This cryptic suggestion made Naruto raise an eyebrow. He didn't know what she meant by that. He asked, Kurne-san, what exactly do you mean?" Asuma also became interested in this. He waited for an answer along with pain-filling Naruto. Her face just twisted into a grin. She said with satisfaction, "My lips are sealed." Naruto blinked for a moment, but said nothing. Although pain filled his body, he saw it darken. What Naruto didn't know or notice was that he was staggering. Kurne, however, noticed. She thought to herself, "He staggers like no other. What happened during that fight with that redhead chick? It looks like it is more than any other common pain. I wish I knew medical ninjutsu." A man in a raincoat was secretly watching in a tree. His silver eyes flashed as day began to turn into night. He thought to himself, this is not good. I need to talk to him." With these words, he disappeared into the wind. In 1 hour, Naruto saw it in nearby. He was happy to be able to cope with the pain radiating through his body. He said, "Asuma-san and Kurne-san, we are going to the tavern about 5 meters away. We can get to her in a couple of minutes. Go." When Naruto said that, it sounded like a painful whisper. He warned the other 2 team members that Naruto was far from 100%, maximum 20%. It didn't take a chakra sensor to see Naruto's chakra level plummet. He knew the other 2 were on their guard. He said, "Asuma-san, what were your plans for the Ino Shikacho combo?" Asuma pulled out a cigarette and lit it. He took a deep breath of the resinous stick of death. He said, "It's very simple. They are the CIA. The CIA has 2 meanings. First, CIA collecting information, and Nalas. They collect information and analyze what is real and what is bullshit. Another simple C Apture interrogate and assassinate. It's pretty simple. Why do I have the feeling that you are seeing something wrong with the team's makeup?" Naruto chuckled despite the pain. He croaked, "In one thing, you're right. Ino has too much makeup." Kurne and Asuma rolled their eyes. Naruto continued, "The only thing I see it will be a problem is the lack of medical ninja. From what I see with medical ninjas or lack thereof, the number of our shinobi has greatly diminished. I mean makeup team gives us the opportunity to use medical shinobi." Kurne asked, "What do you think?" Naruto replied, "I don't want to sound sexist, but the women in newbies, with the exception of Hinata, have little chakra. I mean, they care about their appearance, which is important, but that doesn't mean they should neglect their shinobi abilities. To be honest, I am sincere. Are afraid of what they can do. It is too early to tell as they have just passed their exams, but their actions should be cause for concern. However, This is where medical ninjutsu can be very effective. If they know where certain veins, bones, chakra points and nerves are located, they can create a defensive attack. Think about it for a moment. Konoha was known for her powerful brute strength. This includes Uchiha, Senju, Hyuga, Inuzuka, Saratobi's, Jiraiya, Minato Namikaze, etc. However, if we look at our history, there is basically only one Genjutsu clan. The Kurama clan has thinned a lot. Our most powerful Genjutsu specialist, after Kurama clan, is Itachi Uchiha, followed Kurne. She blushed at his praise. He continued. Besides, we only have 2 fencers. I will ask one of them to teach me the art of Kenjutsu. Finally, we have the best medic in Tsunade. I don't even understand the concept of a universal team. Asuma took a drag on his cigarette and said, "It's true. I want to know how you got all this information." Naruto said in an even but painful tone, "We all have secrets, but I'll tell you that Konoha's annual census helps a lot." Kurne only shook her head. After his explanation, Asuma just chuckled. He said, "Okay guys, the hotel is right in front." Naruto just nodded and continued to jump silently. It took several seconds until they reached the hotel. The inn was small, only a few feet high. It was beige. Upstairs was a dimly lit sign that read Ma and Pop's Inn. Asuma took a drag on his cigarette and said, "I guess this is the place. Doesn't look like a tavern, does it?" Naruto suppressed a laugh. He said, "Actually, Asuma, this is a brothel. It is the only resting place for Miles." Asuma didn't immediately understand what Naruto said, but Kurne did understand exactly. She blushed deeply. Naruto didn't know if it was embarrassment or anger. He heard something fall to the ground. Asuma said in a slow voice, "So this is a brothel, huh?" Naruto said with the greatest possible amusement, "Yes, looks can be deceiving. Now, Asuma, what I have to tell you is extremely important." To add effect to the scene, Naruto made a serious face with murderous intent behind him. Asuma saw Naruto's serious face and became wary. He said, "Okay, what do you have to tell me that is vital?" Naruto looked into Asuma's eyes, as if Naruto's eyes pierced Asuma's soul. This made Asuma a little unnerved. Naruto said, "Asuma Saratobi, a message from Horizon Saratobi. The Sandem Hawkage says you should buy your own prostitute." Asuma dropped the cigarette from his mouth. Naruto's lips twitched as a smile appeared on his lips. Kurne's face began to take on a reddish tint. Naruto said, "Hi Kurne, I heard they have Jones there." Kurne, with her crimson face, covered the distance between them, and hit him in the head. Naruto howled in pain as he rubbed his aching head. Asuma shook his head while lighting a cigarette. He said, "Naruto, I don't know who you are anymore." Naruto objected, "How can you say you know me, if we only talked 5 times?" Asuma said, "Tush, I believe it is time for the boy to become a man. Are you ready to become a man, Naruto?" Naruto just shrugged. To be honest, he still felt too young. He must be concerned about holding her hand and kissing. He had heard stories of some 13-year-old teenagers who looked like rabbits, but their life was over when the girl became pregnant. At this point, Naruto did not want to be tied up by a child yet. Naruto said, "No, I'll wait a little. Walk straight. I'll meet you guys there for a bit." Asuma and Kurne were suspicious. Kurne said, "I will not go there. this is a brothel. You know how disgusting sex smells when you're not. This is totally awful. I sleep better outside. Naruto stopped to support his body as the pain got much worse. Naruto turned with difficulty, which did not go unnoticed. He looked into Kurnei's rippled red eyes. At first he said nothing. The air was filled with pervading silence and tension. Naruto said, "Kurnei-san, it's very important that we stay here overnight, and as much as you hate brothels, this particular one also serves as an inn. So please bear with the stench for one night." She objected. "What's so important that we should stay here?" Naruto turned and walked towards the hotel. Kurnei did not move. She put her hands in her bosom. She tapped her foot to indicate that she was waiting for an answer. Naruto took a deep breath and said, "If you don't come in, then sit here, where there are many ninja ready to end you. Remember, the war is also outside Kiri. The only neutral territory is here. The reason is unknown, but it is a fact. Now, I am giving you 2 ultimatums. First, you go to a brothel, and you have a 98% chance of surviving. Second, you stay here, and have 40% of your life. It's your choice." For Kurnei, for the first time since she graduated, she felt clueless. The fact that she knew little about the mission, and this child was a blow to her pride. She mentally shook out those thoughts of the team leader. The genin wet around her ears. Even if he was a genin, if he was a squad leader, she must follow. Kurnei said, "You're right, Naruto Teicho. I apologize for the disobedience." Naruto glanced over his shoulder and looked at her. To her surprise, Naruto just waved his hand. He said in his pain-pierced voice, "It's okay, Kurnei-san. You 2 come in. I'll be with you soon." Asuma was very suspicious as the child was not the same after that battle. The child is in pain. The question is, where does it come from? It doesn't look like it's a skin wound, or anything like that, but it's a cause for concern. If it doesn't get better, I might have to accept. Anyway, Pops should know about it. Like Asuma, Kurnei's suspicions were confirmed. She thought, so Naruto is hurting a lot. This is bad because he doesn't say anything. I think this is a place where he can rest. The kid is doing so well, but not telling us what's going on is an amateur move that can cost the mission dearly. This is something that needs to be discussed. I'll see how it ends before evaluating what to do with it." They walked past Naruto and entered the brothel. When he saw them disappear into the brothel, he took a deep breath of relief. The pain persisted as his chakra approached his eyes, causing him to stumble. His strength level dropped dramatically. In addition, he realized that if nothing was done quickly, in about half an hour, he would be in big problems. He saw that it was deep night, and smiled a little. At least, he could talk to the Reaver. With such a thought process, he entered the brothel. To Naruto's surprise, the brothel was actually bigger inside. The brothel was luxuriously decorated. Red velvet carpet, gold walls with expensive art nearly every 5 feet. 2 staircases with the same red velvet covering led to the middle landing. On the middle floor, Naruto saw that it was lined with black and white tiles. In the middle of the middle floor was a statue of an ice dragon with ice blue eyes. Then Naruto saw the top floor. A ledge emerged from the top floor, seemingly made of gold bullion, shaped like dragons. Before Naruto could look at it, he felt 2 long, soft, thin arms curl around his neck. Naruto's eyes widened. He was on the verge of the fact that this man not only crept up to him, but he did not even notice. But she, or he hoped it was her, was able to hug him. He was taken by surprise, and if he knew he was going to follow the kune, that could be the end of him. Her soft, warm breath tickled Naruto's senses. He heard a soft, smooth, female voice say in his ear, "Aren't you too young to be in a place like this, Kekkei?" Her voice made a lump in his throat, as if he was overwhelmed. Naruto decided not to move as it wasn't really something he had a lot of experience with. What surprised Naruto was that his body was not in much pain, but rather dull. The mysterious woman was grinning on the outside and annoyed on the inside. She said, "My God, you must be young. You have that fresh face, with those chubby cheeks, with those mustache marks. You are so kawaii. I could just eat you." Naruto had the decency to blush. He just felt her melodious voice ringing in his ears. All he could do was mumble, "Thank you." Her smile widened. She let go of Naruto's neck and spun him around. It was then that he saw her. She looks like a 30-year-old girl. She is about 5 feet 8 inches tall. She has ivory skin. She has crimson hair with blonde strands, reaching down to her waist. She has a D-shaped bust with a thin waist. She was wearing a crimson-red dress that covered her creamy slender legs. Her face was just gorgeous. She has a heart-shaped face that seems to be constantly blushing. Her eyes were light green that seemed to sparkle. However, when Naruto looked closer, he saw that they were slightly hollow. Naruto could sympathize, but didn't say anything. She's just amazing. There is a soft smile on her face. Naruto looked at her as a beautiful woman, and not as a whore, or anything like that. She said in her soft voice, "Well, young man, what is your name?" Naruto relaxed at the sight of her behavior. Naruto said, "My name is Naruto Uzumaki. May I ask your name, miss?" Her eyes widened. Her eyes quickly returned to normal. She thought to herself, "Is he an Uzumaki? It's impossible." She restrained herself and said, "Well, Naruto-san, it's nice to meet your acquaintances. My name is Ms.